Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we are checking out the Potensic Dreamer 4K. It is a 4K 31-minute flight time, brushless motor, 5G Wi-Fi FPV GPS RC quadcopter ready to fly. Now it is a non-foldable type quadcopter with the DJI Phantom style landing gear. So some of you guys have been asking me if some of the foldable type quadcopters can be used to drop fishing bait for drone fishing. And you could do it, but this would be the type of quadcopter you want to use since it has powerful brushless motors and the traditional landing gear to attach the hook apparatus for the bait. And the camera can be tilted 90 degrees so you can see the bait dropping. Now, this is the older model to the newer Dreamer Pro 4K model, which comes with a 3-axis gimbal. This one just comes with a anti-vibration mounting for the camera, which can be remotely tilted from 0 to 90 degrees. Now, the camera is set to have an 8 megapixel lens with a 13 megapixel Sony sensor. So it will record 2K videos and 4K photos to the micro SD card. And here is the micro SD card slot. It supports from 4 GB to 256 GB micro SD card. Class 10 or higher is recommended. The battery bay is in the rear, and by squeezing the grips on both sides of the battery and giving it a little pull, the battery can be removed. The battery is a 15.2 volt 3000 milliamp size battery with a maximum charge voltage of 17.4 volts, good for about 31 minutes of flight time. It will take about 2 hours to fully charge. Slide it back in and it will click into place. A short followed by a long press will turn the power on. We got status LED lights on the bottom of each of the motor pods, green in the front and red in the rear, and an LED light in the front with the Dreamer logo lit up. Another short followed by a long press will power off the quadcopter. It comes with these quick release props, super easy to attach. Just push in and rotate to lock into place. Now the blades have clockwise or counterclockwise written on them, as well as on the arm next to the motor. So push in and rotate it the opposite way to release. Now the Dreamer weighs in at 736 grams with the battery, so it needs to be registered. The remote controller is a bit unique in shape, but it still does feel pretty good in the hands. It's got some silicone grips for your hands and the same material for the phone holder area. The phone holder is built into the front of the remote control, and all you do is simply slide it and put your phone in between, just like this. Now, the left antenna is just for looks, and it is the right antenna with the antenna wire running up the antenna. So make sure it is at an optimum angle. Now, there is a compartment to hold the gimbal sticks when not in use. Perfect, especially when you are traveling. So we have the rotary dial on the left shoulder to remotely adjust the camera tilt from 0 to 90 degrees. And on the right shoulder, we have another rotary dial, and it is for adjusting the brightness level. In the front, we have the gimbals, which are nice and smooth. Push down on the left stick to switch from GPS mode to attitude mode, even while it is in the air. It should already come paired with the quadcopter right out of the box from the factory, but if it's not, push down on the right stick and the power button at the same time to pair with the quadcopter. Here is the speed switch. Speeds 1 and 2 can be had. It says sport, which is speed number 2. Here is the return to home button. Long press and the quadcopter will come back and land where it took off from. Here is the 1 key to take off and 1 key to land button, and the power button. Now in the rear is the photo button and the video buttons, and both sticks to the bottom and in will arm the motors. On the bottom is the micro USB charge port to charge up the built-in battery. Alright guys, so here we go with the test flight of the Potensic Dreamer 4K. I got a 32 gigabyte micro SD card inserted and formatted. And here is the battery, fully charged. So let's go ahead and insert the battery until it clicks into place. Here are the props. So when you're looking at the quadcopter from the rear view, this motor and this motor will be counterclockwise. This motor and this motor will be clockwise. So you want to put the props with the red letters on your left upper motor and the lower right motor. Click it in and rotate it until it locks into place. And you want to place the props with the darker gray or black letters on the right top motor. There you go. And on the bottom left motor, and rotate it. Make sure it is locked into place and it is not going to spin out. All right, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and power up the quadcopter. A short and then a long press. And that also calibrated the level of the camera too. And power up the remote control. I believe when you pair and when it configures, it also calibrates the gyro, because there's no stick sequence or button sequence or app controlled gyro calibration. It just has the compass calibration. So everything is paired, it is ready to go. So the first thing you want to do when you're flying one of these GPS quadcopters is to calibrate the compass. And to do that, we're going to have to calibrate the compass with the app, because there's no stick calibration method or button calibration method on the hard remote. So let's go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi network. And it is called the Potensic D1 Wi-Fi network. And we are already connected. And here is the app. It is called the Potensic Pro app, free downloadable app in the App Store. So go ahead and check it out. And there we go. It says enter device. First, let's check this settings here. You can go to the tutorial, instructions, quick start, flight record, and flight log book. We're going to go directly into the enter device. But this app also doubles as the Dreamer Pro app. That is a recently released one after this one. So this one is the previous version. So let's go ahead and enter the device. And there we go. We got Wi-Fi FPV. Let's see. Screen record. 3, 2, 1. And we are screen recording. Let's see how it looks like. Oh, black screen for a split second. There you go. Looks pretty good. So this doesn't have a gimbal or electronic image stabilization. So when you roll the quadcopter, the horizon will roll with it, and if you tilt the quadcopter, the horizon will tilt with it as well. And I'm assuming the video is going to be a little choppy because there's no electronic image stabilization as well. But what it does have is remote tilt adjustable angle on the camera. So let's go ahead and tilt the camera down all the way down to 90 degrees. So you can look right below the quadcopter, which is nice. Good for landing and launching bait for fishing, if you are into that sort of stuff. There you go. Back up all the way. Alright, so compass calibration, you want to hit those three little dots on the top right corner, and it will show you main controller settings. Beginner mode, no, I don't want beginner mode turned on. Circle flight setting, to change that. And it says here radius is set to 25 meters and speed is set to 3 meters per second, and it is going counterclockwise. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Next up, there's the calibration settings. We'll come back to that. Here's the remote control settings. It is set to mode 1. I believe it is left hand throttle. I'm not going to change the mode to. And we got battery percentage at 100%, and we can change from imperial to metric. Let's go back to calibration setting and hit start calibration and hit start. It says to rotate it horizontally. There we go. And now it's telling us to rotate it vertically with the nose up. Let's rotate it until it tells us it is done. There you go, a check mark appeared. Calibration of the compass is done. So let's get out and let's see. Satellite count, we got 18 satellites, so we are good to go. We have GPS position, and it just says connected and ready for takeoff. All right, so let's go ahead and take off. I'm going to go ahead and leave the iPad right here. All right, so what you want to do is both sticks to the bottom and in will arm the motors, or you can just hit the 1 key to take off and land button. It'll arm the motors and take off as well. So both sticks to the bottom and in arms the motors. Now you have to manually take off. If you don't take off in about 10 to 15 seconds, the motors will shut off by themselves. A safety feature. So let's see how long it takes. There you go. Okay. Other than that, you can hit the 1 key to take off and 1 key to land. Long press it until you hear a beep, and the quadcopter will arm and take off by itself. There you go. All right. Automatic takeoff. And holding its position. Look at that. Very nice. Let's see if it yaws in one spot. Oh yeah, it yaws in place. No drift at all. Very nice. Okay, let's see if I pull it. Okay, it got really angry. I didn't even have to pull it that far. All right, so we should be starting off in regular mode or non-sport mode, so speed number 1. Raising it up and full pitch. Oh, a little wobbly there. Looks pretty good. That's full pitch and full yaw. Okay, let's go to sport mode. All right, a little bit more pitch, a little more speed. So it's a higher rate. Full pitch, full yaw. Not that much difference, just a little bit more speed. Okay, let go of the stick and comes to a hover. All right, Raise it up in altitude just a little bit, and let's take a look here. I'm going to take some photos. Here's the photo button. Okay, it just changed modes. It didn't take a photo, it just changed into the photo mode from the video mode. Hit it again, and there you go. Taking a photo. Yaw a little bit. There you go, taking another photo. One more. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do the camera tilt. And okay, trying to find out where I am. Okay, I'm right above myself, so let me go away from myself a little bit and turn around, and there I am. Camera tilt down and take a photo there. Okay, camera tilt all the way up. And where's the sun? Nope, I'm unable to find the sun because it's too high. Let's take a final photo there, and let's see. Let's go ahead and start the video. Okay, once again, it just changes mode with the single press, and then the second press commences the video recording. All right, so video is recording. So camera tilt all the way down. That's about 45 degrees, and all the way down to 90 degrees. Just a one-speed servo. Smooth enough, I guess. And all the way up. Nice. All right. Okay, let's see if I can focus this thing. Supposed to have brightness focus feature on the right shoulder button, the dial. But somehow it doesn't work on my iPad. It works on my iPhone, but my iPhone has a significant delay or latency. And there's also a bar on the right side of the app for camera tilt. It works on my phone, but it doesn't work on my iPad either for some reason. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out a little bit more. Okay, we are in speed number 2 in GPS mode. All right, so it comes to a hover. I'm gonna go to speed number 1, and let's see if I turn off GPS. Down pressing on the throttle. Check it out, it is starting to drift. There's no GPS position hold, so it is just drifting with the breeze. A very mild breeze. All right, so let's go and check this thing out. In the non-GPS mode, or the ADDI mode, or attitude mode, it is a lot more sportier. Look at that. Even in speed number 1, it is more sportier than in speed number 2 in GPS mode. So it kind of reminds me, because this thing has brushless motors and the DJI style landing legs, kind of reminds me of the Beitian Toys X16 somewhat. The body is different, but still, basically it's right around there. I think the X16 was a lot more powerful than this one. Okay, so let's see if the sport mode makes any difference in the ADDI mode, the non-GPS mode. It doesn't seem like it. It's staying about the same speed. So let me flick it back. See, does not make a difference. Full pitch. And there you go. Basically, you got one speed in the ADDI mode, and you got 2 speeds in the GPS mode. So one thing about ADDI mode is, here, let me bring it in closer. When you let go of the stick, it'll just glide, because GPS position hold is not going to be activated. Whereas if I hit the GPS on switch, now it is holding its position, and if I pitch, and then let go, it'll come to a hover instead of gliding. All right. Okay, so first things first, let's establish our home point. I took off from the table, so I want to establish the home point as the landing pad. So I'm going to hit the 1 key to land now. Okay, it is landing, and you can kind of redirect this path, but every time you redirect it, it stops descending. Look at that. So you can control it to where you want to land exactly. So you have all kinds of time to correct position the quadcopter's landing path. Nice. Okay, so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to arm it manually and then take off manually. Now, the antenna placement on the right one, this is the one that has the antenna wire running up it, depends on how you hold your transmitter. You want this antenna to be sticking straight up, so you get the most range all around perpendicular to it. You don't want to make it facing that way and hold the remote control this way. Otherwise, the best range, it will be this way, this plane. So instead, hold it up, and I hold my transmitter about like this, so I want it right about there. All right, so arming the motors and manually taking off this time. And so far, this thing is awesome. So we are in GPS mode. Okay, there's one thing also. I'm gonna go to ADI mode. Now, look at, I can control it really nicely. And if you land manually in ADI mode, it doesn't have that GPS position hold stoppage, so to speak. So you can kind of land it more smooth, and if you like to do it that way. So I'm going to land it manually, just like that, nice and smooth. I'm going to place it back in the center of the landing pad, so that'll be our new home point. Alright guys, I have to blow my nose and wipe the tears off my eyes because I got some kind of allergy going on right now. Okay, I'm in the motors manually and taking off. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. We are in speed 2. Let's change the speed number 1 and let's see if we can do some FPV. A little wobbly, a little choppy, because there's no gimbal or electronic image stabilization, and I lost video momentarily. It froze, so the video is not that great. It'll all depend on what type of device you are using. So let me go out here and turn around, nice and smooth. There I am. I stopped and I overshot my spot here. Okay, there we go, flying over myself and turning around, and there I am. All right, so you can FPV with this thing a little bit, but very wobbly, and looks like the video seems to be pretty good so far. It went out for a split second there earlier, but now it is giving me, oh, there you go, it went out again, and it just came back, and black screen, Pac-Man, and then I got it back. So I don't have good Wi-Fi video on this one, guys. So let's go ahead and check out the main function is the return to home. So one of the main features of a GPS quadcopter. So let's go ahead and hit the return to home button. Okay, beeping. Quadcopter is rising up in altitude to the pre-designated altitude, turns around, heads its way back, a little wobble, turns around again, and comes down. Besides a little wobble, it's performing pretty good. Looks like it's going to land pretty close to the takeoff spot. still beeping, and touchdown. Motors turn off. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. So we know it has a good return to home feature. Turns around, comes back, turns around, and it lands itself. Now let's go ahead and take off one more time. One key to take off. I'm going to help it out. Go up in altitude. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to retake control while it is coming back from a return to home. So let's hit that return to home button once more. Okay. Uh-oh. It is now thinking about coming home. Why is that? Okay, once more. There you go, return to home. So make sure when you hit that return to home, you take a look at the video and see if it is actually returning, or hit it again. Okay, I'm gonna hit it again right now while it's coming back. Turning around. There you go. And I have exited the return to home process, and I have retaken control of the quadcopter. So when it's heading back, you can take control of it anytime by hitting the return to home button once more. All right. A little wobbly though. Okay, so this time let's go ahead and push it out and check out the fail-safe return to home. And to do that, I'm going to turn off the remote control. Okay, remote control has been turned off. Okay, let's check it out. The remote control has been disconnected, it says, and it is not thinking about coming home. Let's wait for a few more seconds. And yep, it is not thinking about coming home at all with just the hard remote turned off. And I do believe this is one of those quadcopters that need both of the devices to be disconnected, meaning the Wi-Fi FPV connection, Wi-Fi app connection. So I believe I still have control over the aircraft with the app. So let's go to the remote control icon, and there's all the special features, functions, and here's the virtual controller is off. It says I'm gonna hit it, so it is on, and then there's no virtual controllers. I believe you just hit it. Yeah, there you go, control sticks up here, and you can fly this thing with the phone app solo. All right, okay, that's one of the things that is bad about this quadcopter, and that is the fact that you're gonna have to have both of the devices disconnected for it to perform the fail-safe return home. So that is bad. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop my video recording. Okay, and I'm also going to stop my screen recording. Okay, to save those clips. And let's see, I'm going to restart the on-screen recording. I'm doing this just to be on the safe side, so I get the video clips saved. I'm gonna hit the record button again once my video comes back. There we go. Yeah, look at that kind of sketchy video with the green showing up and all that. Signal poor, it says. Okay, I'm gonna hit the video record. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kill the phone app and see if it returns home, a fail-safe return to home. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm gonna kill it. So the phone app is discontinued or disconnected, and now it is rising up in altitude, turning around, and it is heading its way back. It's going to land, so I'm gonna reconnect with the hard remote by turning on the hard remote and hitting the return home. There you go. So once you reconnect, you gotta still hit the return home button to retake control. So I got control back with the hard remote, so that is nice. Let's go ahead and restart the app. Enter the device. and looks like I'm still recording a video, so the video does not stop either. Okay, remote control is connected, and I still have on-screen recording too. So there you go, guys. That is the fail-safe test. So you need both devices to be turned off, and while it's flying back, you can reconnect with your hard remote. Oh, bird just flew right by the quadcopter. You don't want to get prop strikes there, little bird. Again, you want to play around with it. Yeah, you're going to get seriously hurt with those props. Alright, so that is the fail-safe return to home and the smart return to home by pressing the button. Alright, so let's see if this thing has Circle Me. I saw all those special features there, and there you go. And this one is headless mode, unlock, GPS mode, and circle flight, it says. Let's hit that circle flight. Oh, it enters it right away. Look at that. Oh, it went away from where it was, and then it's starting to do its circle flight. So the Circle Me is doing the counterclockwise rotation just like how we left it. So that's what it's doing, and the point of interest will be right there where it was hovering before I hit the Circle Me, and it is circling around that point of interest right there. So let's get out by hitting the X, and I'll confirm. So let's go right above myself and position the quadcopter right above myself, and then hit the Circle Me, circle flight. So it's going away sideways. Check it out. Stops at the pre-designated distance or the radius, and it is starting to commence the Circle Me, and this will be my spot, will be the point of interest. So you guys can't really see that. I gotta lower down the camera. There I am. There you go. So let's see if I throttle up. Nope. Throttling up does not have any effect. Yaw, nothing. Okay, now let's see if I can control the distance by pitching forward and pitching backwards once it gets onto this side here. The sun is right there. Whew. Man, getting these allergies. Okay, so pitching forward comes closer, and if I let go, does it continue? No, it'll exit the Circle Me once I pitched forward with the right stick. So you are not able to control the distance, the radius, or you are not able to control the speed, I don't think. Alright, so let's go ahead and check it out one more time to see whether or not it will be able to control the speed. Okay, I just pressed it. The point of interest is over there, and it is going to start circling. So let's see if I can increase the speed. And let go. Nope, that gets you out of the Circle Me as well. So any movement of the stick will exit you from the Circle Me, so you are stuck with the pre-designated radius and the speed. Alright, let's see if we can do anything else here. And how about follow me? Nah, it's pointing that way, and it has exited the follow me. So I believe in order to execute the follow me, you will need cellular data, which I don't have on my iPad. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the distance, camera angle all the way up, and let's see, what's the battery life? I got 26%. So let me go and check it out here, push it out. When it hits 20%, it will hit the low voltage alarm mode, where it tells you the battery level is at 20% and you should start landing. So let's push it out I got video still yet. Still going out there. Video kind of froze in time, but the quadcopter is still going. And I'm at 24%. Well, I got video back. Look at that. I got video back. 23%. And it is still going. I see it way out there. Okay. The drone is about to maximum limit distance. Please fly carefully, it says. So I'm going to go and start pulling the quadcopter back towards me. And we hit 20% and flying in low battery. Please fly carefully. So let me go ahead and pull it back. And 2 beeps consecutively. And I'm pulling it back towards me here. Okay, so there's no geofencing. It doesn't come home once it hit the 20% mark. It just warns you. So you can control the quadcopter still yet, which I like. So there's no geofencing. So if I push it this way, right this way, and continue to push it, and let's see, 45, 50 meters, and still pushing it, 70, 80 meters, 90, 100 meters, and it's still going. So there's no geofencing. Oh, it is starting to rise up in altitude, and I think it has reached a certain point where it is returning to home now. This will be the second phase where it executes the low voltage return to home. So not a very long period between the first and the second phase, just enough to bring it in, and turns around, and it is going to come down. Yep, so this will be the critical low voltage return home, so to speak, or the second phase. Yep, it's coming down. I feel the breeze, and looks like it's going to miss the landing pad by quite a lot, but still very good, maybe about 3 or 4 quadcopter distances away. Alright guys, so that'll be the flight test and review of the Potensic Dreamer 4K GPS quadcopter ready to fly. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.